The large chamber of the Galactic Council grew quiet as Ambassador Kim stood up. He faced representatives from 27 alien species. Above them, a huge dome showed stars and planets, reminding everyone of the vast space they shared. Humans were newcomers here. After being alone for hundreds of years, Earth had only been given observer status in the Council. Many aliens hadn't wanted even that. From the upper level, Commander Park watched carefully. Her formal uniform felt stiff and uncomfortable after wearing regular ship clothes for so long. Park was used to commanding the CSS Defiant, humanity's only true warship, which waited in orbit around the Council station. The Defiant was an amazing ship with advanced technology, but the Council races didn't see it that way. They viewed it with fear and distrust instead of appreciation. Ambassador Kim spoke with a clear, strong voice. "We cannot allow the attacks on our colonies to continue. The Drakari have destroyed 3 of our settlements. Thousands of our people are dead. The Council must step in and stop these attacks." High Counselor Zivran, a tall bird-like alien with colorful feathers, tilted his head to one side. His sharp eyes focused on Kim. "Your human colonies are in areas that others claim too," said Zivran. "The Drakari say they owned those regions long before you arrived. This is a problem between your 2 species. The Council does not need to get involved." Several alien representatives nodded in agreement. Some whispered to each other. A few looked at Kim with what might have been pity. What Kim didn't tell them, what no one in the Council knew, was that the Defiant wasn't just any warship. Humans had developed special weapons and defenses during their centuries alone. The Defiant carried technologies no alien had ever seen before. Commander Park touched the pocket where she kept her sealed orders. Earth Command had been clear. Try diplomacy first. But if that failed, Park had permission to use the Defiant's full capabilities. Park looked around the chamber at the alien faces. Some had extra eyes. Others had scales or fur. A few didn't even have faces as humans would understand them. All these different species had found ways to work together in the Council. But humans weren't truly welcome yet. Earth was still seen as too unpredictable, too different, too dangerous. 2 Drakari representatives sat across the chamber. Their gray skin and sharp teeth made them look fierce. They watched Ambassador Kim with cold eyes. The Drakari were one of the oldest species in the Council. They believed they deserved the territories that humans had started to settle. Kim continued his speech, listing the attacks and showing images of destroyed colonies. Some Council members looked concerned, but most seemed unmoved. Park thought about the Defiant's hidden weapons. One ship against the Drakari fleet would normally be suicide. But the Defiant wasn't a normal ship. Its hull contained particle cannons that could cut through any known shield. Its engines used technology that let it move faster than any Council ship. Its defense systems could absorb or deflect attacks that would destroy other vessels. Earth had built the Defiant in secret, knowing they would need protection in a galaxy that might not welcome them. As Kim finished speaking, several Council members shook their heads. A green-skinned alien stood up. "This Council has maintained peace for 300 years by not taking sides in territorial disputes," she said. "Humans knew the regions were contested when they built colonies there." The Drakari representative smiled, showing sharp teeth. Park felt anger rising within her. The colonies had been peaceful settlements. Families, children, all dead now because the Drakari wanted those planets for themselves. Ambassador Kim tried one more time. "If the Council won't act to protect innocent lives, what is its purpose? What good is membership in a body that won't enforce its own rules against killing civilians?" High Counselor Zivran stood tall, his feathers ruffling with irritation. "You are new here, human. You do not understand our ways yet. The Council suggests that you withdraw from the disputed regions. That is our official position." Kim looked up to where Park stood. Their eyes met briefly. Park gave a small nod. They both knew what would happen next. "The people of Earth thank the Council for its time," Kim said formally. He bowed slightly. "We will consider your suggestion." As Kim left the speaking platform, Parks looked away from the gallery. She tapped her communication device. Defiant, this is Commander Park. Prepare for my return. Diplomatic options are being exhausted. The crew would know what that meant. They would begin running system checks on weapons that no one in the Council knew existed. They would prepare for a fight that might change how the galaxy viewed humans forever. Park took one last look at the chamber, with its beautiful dome and its representatives from dozens of worlds. She had hoped things would be different, that humans would find friends among the stars. Instead, they had found the same old story. The powerful made the rules. The weak suffered, and those who wanted peace needed to be ready for war. As she walked to the shuttle bay, Park opened her sealed orders and began to read them carefully. Soon, the Defiant would show the galaxy what humans could really do, and nothing would ever be the same again. Red warning lights flashed throughout the Council station. Loud alarms blared in every corridor. Aliens of all kinds rushed to safety zones as emergency messages played in multiple languages. Commander Park stood on the bridge of the Defiant, watching the main screen with narrowed eyes. 15 Drakari warships had appeared near the diplomatic zone. Their dark, blade-shaped hulls reflected no light. They moved in perfect formation toward the Council station. "This is against all Council rules," said Lieutenant Han, the weapons officer. "No military fleet is allowed in the diplomatic zone." Park nodded. The Drakari know exactly what they're doing. They're sending a message. The bridge crew worked at their stations, checking systems and monitoring the Drakari ships. Everyone wore the dark blue uniforms of Earth's Space Command, with the Defiance emblem on their shoulders. "Commander, incoming transmission from Earth," called out Communications Officer Lee. Park straightened her uniform. "Put it through." The screen changed to show Admiral Choi's serious face. His voice was calm but firm. "Commander Park, the diplomatic approach has failed. The Drakari are moving against our colony at New Horizon. We have reports of their attack fleet entering the system. Your new orders are simple. Protect human interests by any means necessary." "Understood." "Yes, Admiral. Any means necessary." "Understood." After the transmission ended, Park turned to her crew. "Prepare all systems. We're jumping to New Horizon as soon as possible." Back in the Council chambers, chaos ruled. Representatives shouted over each other. Some demanded immediate action against the Drakari. Others called for caution. A few even suggested giving up the human colonies to avoid war. Ambassador Kim stood in the center of it all, perfectly still and calm. The contrast between her stillness and the panicked movement around her was striking. High Counselor Zivran tried to restore order by banging a ceremonial staff on the floor. "Council members, please, we must discuss this reasonably." A large screen on the wall showed real-time images of Drakari ships entering the New Horizon system. The colony's small defense ships looked tiny compared to the Drakari warships. "Those are civilian settlements," said Kim loudly, her voice cutting through the noise. Everyone grew quiet to hear her. Families, children, scientists, farmers, and the Drakari are going to kill them all while this council debates procedure. Zivran's feathers ruffled with irritation. "Ambassador Kim, we understand your concern, but the council must." "The council has failed," Kim interrupted. Her words fell like stones in the quiet chamber. "You promised peace and security to all members. You have given neither. Humanity will defend itself." Murmurs spread through the chamber. Many representatives looked shocked at Kim's directness. Zivran rose to his full height, towering over Kim. "Ambassador, listen carefully. If humans take unilateral military action, your species will never gain full council membership. You will be permanently excluded." Kim looked up at him with cold eyes. "We would rather survive as outcasts than perish as obedient observers." She turned and walked toward the exit. The council members watched in stunned silence. In orbit above, the Defiance engines glowed bright blue as it prepared to jump. Council defense ships sent urgent messages asking it to stay in formation. On the bridge, Park sat in the command chair. "All systems ready." "Yes, Commander," replied First Officer Yoon. "But we're just one ship. The Drukhari have at least 20 warships at New Horizon." Park nodded. "I know, but they've never seen what the Defiant can really do." She pressed a button on her chair. "All crew, secure for jump. We are going to engage the enemy. For the first time, we will be using the Defiant's full capabilities." Throughout the ship, crew members exchanged looks of excitement and fear. They had trained for this, but had never used their special systems in real combat. In the weapons room, technicians unlocked sealed panels, revealing controls for devices no alien race had ever seen. In engineering, Chief Engineer Song activated the quantum core, watching as it glowed with unearthly light. In the medical bay, Dr. Kang prepared for casualties, hoping there wouldn't be many. The Council Defense Fleet Commander's face appeared on the main screen. Defiant, return to formation immediately. This is a direct order. Park shook her head. "I'm sorry, but we have our orders from Earth Command. The Defiant is leaving to defend New Horizon. One ship against a Drukhari battle fleet. That's suicide." Park allowed herself a small smile. "We'll see." She cut the transmission and looked at her navigation officer. "Set course for New Horizon. Maximum speed." The officer nodded. "Course set, Commander." Park took a deep breath. The next few hours would change everything. For humanity, for the Council, for the galaxy itself. "Jump," she ordered. The Defiant vanished in a flash of light, leaving the Council ships behind. On dozens of alien vessels, commanders and crews stared at their screens in disbelief. One human ship was heading to face an entire Drukhari fleet. None of them expected to see the Defiant again. They were about to be very surprised. The Defiant appeared at the edge of the New Horizon system in a flash of blue light. The main screen on the bridge showed the colony planet ahead. Around it, 12 large Drukhari warships fired continuously at the colony's shields. The protective barrier around the human settlement flickered weakly, close to failing. "Status report," Commander Park ordered, her voice steady despite the grim scene. "Colony shields at 12% and dropping," reported Officer Min. "Their orbital defenses are almost destroyed. Ground reports indicate casualties already." Park's face hardened. She pressed the ship-wide communication button. "All hands to battle stations. This is not a drill." Throughout the Defiant, crew members moved quickly to their positions. In the engine room, technicians prepared power systems for combat levels. In the weapons bays, targeting specialists calibrated their systems. "Activate AEGI's systems," Park commanded. First Officer Yoon looked at her with wide eyes. "Full activation, Commander." "We've never used it outside of tests." "Full activation," Park confirmed. "It's time to show what humans can really do." When Earth joined the Galactic Council, they had presented the Defiant as a diplomatic vessel with some defensive capabilities. This was only partly true. In reality, the ship contained weapons technology far beyond what any Council race possessed. "AEGI's systems coming online," announced the systems operator. Lights dimmed briefly throughout the ship as power redirected to the special systems. "Commander, we're being hailed by the Drukhari flagship," said Communications Officer Lee. "Put it through," Park replied. The screen changed to show a Drukhari commander. His gray skin was decorated with battle scars, and his yellow eyes gleamed with confidence. "Human vessel," he said, his voice deep and harsh. "This territory now belongs to the Drukhari Imperium. Depart or be destroyed." Park stood from her command chair. "Open a channel to the Council observation feeds," she told Officer Lee. "I want them all to see this." "Channel open, Commander. The Council will see everything that happens here." Park faced the screen directly. "This is Commander Jaiwan Park of Earth. We have warned you repeatedly. This ends now." She cut the transmission and nodded to her weapons officer. "Begin hull reconfiguration." The outer hull of the Defiant started to change. Sections moved and shifted, revealing weapon ports that had been hidden. Inside these ports, systems came to life that no alien race had ever seen in action. "Quantum field generators online," reported the weapons officer. "Gravitational lensing arrays active," added another crew member. "Temporal disruption cannons charged and ready," said a third. These were technologies that Council scientists had only theorized about. Some races had tried to develop them without success. Humans, isolated for centuries, had succeeded where others had failed. The largest Drakari ship fired first. A stream of bright plasma energy shot toward the Defiant. It hit the ship's shields and simply vanished, absorbed completely. "Phase-shifting shields holding at 100%, reported Officer Yoon with a smile. "No damage." The Drakari fired again, with the same result. Then all 12 ships fired together, creating a spectacular light show as their weapons hit the Defiant's shields and disappeared. On the Council observation feeds, representatives of 27 species watched in stunned silence. What they were seeing should have been impossible. "Target their weapon systems only," Park ordered. "We disable, not destroy." The weapons officer nodded and entered commands. "Targeting complete. Fire," Park said quietly. From the Defiant's hull, beams of light that seemed to bend reality itself shot out. They struck the Drakari ships with perfect accuracy. Where they hit, strange distortions appeared. Metal twisted. Energy fields collapsed. 3 Drakari ships lost all power immediately. 4 more found their weapon systems completely non-functional. The remaining 5, including the flagship, tried to maneuver away. "They're attempting to regroup," said the tactical officer. Park nodded. "Activate the gravitational lens. Target their engines, but be precise." The space around the Defiant seemed to bend slightly. A new kind of energy pulse shot out, catching 4 more Drakari ships. Their engines sputtered and died, leaving them drifting helplessly. Only the flagship remained fully functional, though it had stopped firing. "They're hailing us again," said Communications Officer Lee. "Let's hear what they have to say," Park replied. The Drakari commander appeared on screen again. His confident expression was gone, replaced by barely controlled fear. "What kind of weapons are these?" he demanded. "No human ship should have such capabilities." "You assumed we were weak," Park answered calmly. "That was your mistake. New Horizon remains under human protection. All human colonies do. Take your disabled fleet and leave. We will allow you to tow your damaged ships home." "The Drakari Imperium does not retreat," the commander shouted, but his voice lacked conviction. Park leaned forward. "Look around you. Your fleet is defeated. Your ships are disabled, not destroyed. That was our choice. Next time, we might choose differently." The Drakari commander was silent for a long moment. Then he nodded stiffly and cut the transmission. "They're powering down weapon systems," reported the tactical officer. "Their remaining functional ships are moving to assist the disabled ones." A cheer started to spread through the Defiant's bridge, but Park raised her hand for silence. "This isn't over," she said. "What happened here today will change everything. The Council has seen what we can do. The Drakari know we're not helpless. Every race in the galaxy will view humanity differently now." She looked at the image of New Horizon on the screen. The colony's remaining shields were stabilizing as the attack had stopped. "Send medical teams to the colony," she ordered, "and maintain battle readiness. We stay here until all Drakari ships have left the system." As the crew carried out her orders, Park kept her eyes on the stars beyond the view screen. Humanity had revealed its hand. There was no going back now. Complete silence filled the council chamber. Every alien representative sat frozen, eyes fixed on the giant screen showing the battle at New Horizon. What they were seeing changed everything they thought they knew about humans. The Defiant moved between the much larger Drakari ships with perfect control. Its weapons, strange beams of light that bent in ways that shouldn't be possible, struck with surgical precision. Each beam hit exactly one system on each target ship: weapons, engines, or power cores. Nothing else was damaged. "What are we seeing?" Counselor Threll finally asked, breaking the silence. The tall, blue-skinned Mosarian's 4 eyes blinked rapidly in confusion. How can one small human ship do this? Ambassador Kim stood in the center of the circular chamber, watching the screen calmly. Unlike the shocked aliens around her, she showed no surprise at all. "This is humanity defending itself with appropriate force," she explained. Her voice echoed in the quiet room. "Notice that Commander Park is disabling their ships, not destroying them." On the screen, another Drakari warship lost power and began to drift. Its weapons went dark. Its engines stopped glowing. But the ship itself remained intact, and the life support systems still functioned. A reptilian counselor hissed, "Impossible. The Drakari battle fleet has defeated every enemy for 300 years. Until today," Kim replied simply. The representatives watched as the Defiant continued its work. The human ship moved faster than should have been possible. Its shields absorbed attacks that would have destroyed any council vessel. Its weapons worked in ways that defied known science. Within 20 minutes, 11 Drakari warships floated powerless in space. Only the flagship remained fully operational, though it had stopped firing. The Defiant could have destroyed the entire fleet in its first attack, Kim continued, looking around at the council members. "Instead, we showed restraint. What you're seeing is not a love of violence, but our ability to use exactly the right amount of force." High Counselor Zivran's colorful feathers stood up in anger. He rose to his full height, towering over Kim. "You hid your true military abilities from this council," he accused, pointing a feathered finger at Kim. "You presented the Defiant as a diplomatic vessel with basic defenses." Kim smiled slightly. "Did we? You never asked about our defensive technologies. You just assumed we were inferior." The chamber erupted in angry shouts and accusations. Some representatives stood and yelled. Others whispered urgently to their assistants. A few looked thoughtful rather than angry. Council Security Director Mock, a solid, stone-like being, approached Kim. "How long have humans possessed these technologies? What else are you hiding?" "We developed these systems during our isolation," Kim answered. "When you spend centuries alone, thinking the galaxy might be hostile, you prepare accordingly." On the screen, the Drakari flagship was now moving to help its disabled fleet. The battle, if it could even be called that, was over. Counselor Threll approached Kim with more curiosity than anger. "Those weapons, they manipulate gravity and time itself, don't they? Our scientists have only dreamed of such things." Kim nodded. "Quantum field generators, gravitational lensing, temporal disruption. Yes. And you built them into one ship," Threll said, impressed. "Our first ship," Kim corrected, "not our only one." This statement caused another wave of murmurs through the chamber. The implications were clear. Earth had more such vessels, or could build them. High Counselor Zivran banged his staff on the floor for order. When the room quieted, he addressed Kim directly. "The Council must now reconsider humanity's position. What happened today changes the balance of power significantly." Kim nodded. "We understand. But remember what you saw. We could have destroyed those ships. We chose not to. We want peace, Counselor. We've always wanted peace." "Then why build such weapons?" asked a plant-like representative from the back of the chamber. "Because sometimes, to maintain peace, you must be able to end war quickly," Kim replied. "The Drakari attacked our colonies because they thought we were weak. They won't make that mistake again." The council members looked at each other. Many nodded slowly, understanding the logic. In a quiet corner of the chamber, 2 Drakari representatives watched with stony faces. Their plans for easy expansion had been ruined in minutes. Their military superiority, which they had enjoyed for centuries, was suddenly in question. "What happens now?" asked a small, insect-like counselor. High Counselor Zivran looked at Kim for a long moment before answering. "The Council will need to discuss this development fully. In the meantime, Ambassador Kim, please extend our gratitude to Commander Park for her restraint." "I will," Kim promised, "and inform your government that the Council would like to open discussions about full membership for humanity," Zivran added, surprising everyone. "It seems we have underestimated your species." Kim bowed slightly. "We look forward to those discussions, High Counselor." As the emergency session ended, representatives gathered in small groups, talking excitedly or worriedly about what they had seen. Everything had changed. The galaxy's newest species had just proven it was perhaps its most advanced. Kim walked quietly from the chamber. She had work to do, messages to send, preparations to make. The age of humanity hiding its true capabilities was over. A new era was beginning, and every star system in the galaxy would feel the ripples of what had happened today. In the aftermath of the New Horizon incident, the galactic landscape had changed forever. 3 weeks after the dramatic confrontation, the Council gathered once more, its atmosphere thick with anticipation and unspoken tension. The Drakari representative looked different now, no longer proud and loud, but quiet and thoughtful. His defeat by the human ship Defiant had exposed weaknesses in his civilization's military might, sending shockwaves through the Drakari Imperium. Commander Park stood beside Ambassador Kim, representing humanity with a calm dignity that spoke volumes. High Counselor Zivran's announcement cut through the chamber's hushed murmurs. Humanity would now be granted full membership in the Galactic Council. Ambassador Kim stepped forward, her words carefully chosen. She spoke of humanity's true purpose, not conquest, but survival. The Defiant was more than a weapon. It was a symbol of preparation and hope. After the official proceedings, Counselor Thrall approached Park with a burning question. "Your ship could have destroyed everything," he said. "Why didn't you?" Park's response was simple yet profound. "True power isn't about destroying others. It's about creating conditions for peace." The galaxy watched and listened. Humanity had arrived not as invaders or victims, but as partners with a unique perspective. Something fundamental had shifted in the cosmic balance of power. Species across different star systems began to reconsider their understanding of these newcomers. The humans were different. They brought a philosophy of preparedness mixed with genuine hope for peaceful coexistence. The council chambers would never be the same. Where once rigid hierarchies and old grudges had ruled, now there was a possibility of something new. Humanity had shown that strength could be measured not by destruction, but by the ability to prevent conflict. As the meeting concluded, a sense of cautious optimism filled the room. The galaxy had witnessed something remarkable: the arrival of a species that could potentially change the rules of interstellar engagement. Commander Park looked out over the assembled delegates, knowing that this moment was more than a diplomatic victory. It was the beginning of a new chapter in galactic history, where understanding might finally triumph over fear.